humanity. It's 10 a.m. in Tucson, and it's February 22nd, 2021. And again, it's a favorite time of all of our week because it is Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
I guess that makes me Bev. Good
I'm,
morning.
I'm getting better at that every week.
You sound like the Ringling Brothers and Circus announcer. Good evening.
Hey, everybody. And we're going to talk about today BioTouch breaks down poverty. And Bev and I have been yakking away about this one. We're passionate about this one. So we're going to just jump right into it because we want to talk about, how BioTouch, well, we've always said health is wealth, and how BioTouch is a way to break down this idea of poverty and how poverty is how health is only usually available to people who have money. So why don't we just start with that quote that you found from Martin Luther King? I mean, because
Yeah,
that'll really jump us into this
I
whole
think
idea.
so. Okay, Martin Luther King, this was in a speech he gave. There is nothing new about poverty. What is new is that we have the resources to get rid of it.
Dun, da, da, da.
Well, yeah, I read that and I thought, oh, I've been thinking about that word resource for a while now. And I realized that each of us in our own lives is a resource to really give birth to a better life, to something else. This thought form of poverty is very, very ancient in humanity. It's a poverty thought form. It's like a law of poverty that we have, really, and there is no such thing.
Right.
um, so, as I always do, and you and I both do, BioTouch is so important right now. We always try to bring anchor in these things with, yeah, but there is BioTouch. And basically, you kind of summed it up. BioTouch, we're not saying BioTouch makes you rich, BioTouch, but what that journey of BioTouch takes us on, of course, it begins with what? That self awareness. After a while in that journey of self-awareness, these other things, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, whatever you want to call it, these other parts of ourselves begin to respond. And what happens is, BioTouch can change uh, your health at the cellular level. It changes it at all these other parts of ourselves as well, and we begin to think of ourselves differently. We begin to make different choices. We begin to think about taking responsibility for our health, for our happiness. Okay, loving ourselves. What's our birthright? Healthy, happy, and loved.
Right.
It begins with that. And so I think the most important thing is when you said, well, especially as we were talking about a capitalistic country, if you want to be healthy and you want to be beautiful, it's only going to cost you this. So, if for at least half of this society, nobody can afford to do that, this is where BioTouch comes in.
Yeah, and
This,
it's not the capitalistic society that dictates poverty around the world, and we see pictures every day and we read things every day about how far medical care is away from most of the people,
yeah.
and whether you're trying to get health care for everybody or you don't even have a health care system. What's beautiful about the resource of BioTouch is it can be done by, if you're a human being, it can be done. It
Yeah.
empowers you. And it doesn't cost you. We don't put out there, a 3 hour video, that talks about all these things we're going to help you do. And then you finally get to the end of it and you go, well, but for only a few $100s, we'll give you and then they don't even tell you what they'll give you.
Right.
It's
Oh, yeah,
hilarious. I mean, I
I
love
know.
these things. And yet, on our website, justtouch.com, you can go and just learn the points right away. We have numerous ways you can learn this, put it into application. I am so thrilled about this whole pandemic that locked us down because it really forced the organization into virtually getting this out to people all over the world. And it
Yeah,
equalizes the playing field for
that's
everybody.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's time to do that, and those of us who are working in this foundation, we really understand and accept the responsibility of holding this. I always think of us as the gift bearers because BioTouch is, what do we say? The treatment for the people.
For the
It's
people.
totally acts, it's totally accessible to everyone. It's totally affordable. I mean, Paul has said, my God, if you can't afford the whatever, the few dollars, we'll give you this thing. Maybe that's the difference. I think there's a great heart in this foundation. We're here to serve in love. That's what BioTouch is holding, this whole new birthing of a new consciousness called brotherhood. And it's about us being connected. All those things we're saying, we're one, we're not separated, we're a community. This is all true. And this is why BioTouch is so important right now. It's important for every single one of us. So, again, BioTouch is a resource to change your life on many, many levels,
Yeah.
many aspects of yourself.
And so, just in our little manual again, it says, with a simple intent uh, to help one's fellow human beings and proper instruction, assistance may be initiated by any individual. No special talent is required to be effective. Everyone, because of their inherent love and compassion for those who are suffering, can perform these methods without limitation. Simple intent. The whole
Yeah.
problem with that is if it wasn't so simple, it'd be easy, but it's very difficult to be simple.
Isn't that just a paradox there?
Yeah,
But again, it's the mindset of the collective mindset of humanity that has accepted the fact that in order for anything to be worthwhile or constructive or helpful, well, you've got to spend money on it. It takes you a lot of effort. It's, blah,
right.
blah, blah. And here we come. We knew the biggest challenge of us getting BioTouch to the people for that treatment for the people is its very essence of simplicity.
Right.
It's like breaking down this old thought form of poverty. Well, we have to break down this old thought form of simplicity is not simple.
And
Yeah, it is.
it's interesting because over all the years, 30 years now, over and over and over, one of the main things I hear is, Paul, you got to put a price tag on it. You got to put a higher price tag because there's no worth. People don't think there's a worth in
There's
it.
no word.
And it's been very difficult over all these years to watch that ego come and, well, maybe we should do
Ah,
that, but saying, no, this is an experiment. Can you just give loving, caring touch, which is inherent in all of us? Everybody can do this. There are no levels. Everyone's effective, and really, truly give it away. I mean, we have minimal charges for things because we got to pay the electricity and the internet bill and those kinds of things.
yeah,
But once everybody gets it, we don't need all this stuff. And that's our
yeah,
goal, is to get this into every home. And hey, you don't need the Bev and Paul show. We can go
that's
and
right.
drink our wine and drink our beer and eat pizza and whatever
Yeah.
else we want.
Kick back.
Kick, it's
It's
like,
done.
and I like it too because when I say to groups of people, even jerks can do this, and I've proven it because I'm one of the bigger jerks on the planet. Those people those of us who like to think we're on a self improvement path, they go, oh no, Paul, you're really a kind person, and I'm like, how the hell do you know that? I mean, I'm a jerk too, and it's by waking up to our human nature part, our
Yeah.
jerkiness, our lust, our
Yeah.
greed, our anger, and yet our loving, kind selves. As a whole human being, we can do healing work. We don't have to put any piece aside. Just reach over and touch somebody. And
Right.
that's the greatest wealth we can have is to empower ourselves to help another human being.
Yeah, that's we talked about that on a show a couple of years ago called Affluency. It's called Prosperity. All of these things that are beginning to infiltrate into our consciousness is like, oh, now it's time to recreate ourselves, to reestablish our new social paradigms. And I'm saying that a lot of that is based on loving intention, helping others, caring for others. That's the path that really a lot of people are beginning to go to. And here's BioTouch. It's a resource to really kickstart us into that, um, because I'll say it again. It is for every single one of us, not the few, not the rich, not the this. It doesn't matter where you are in your life or what you're doing in your life. There is something there for you, all of us, called BioTouch.
And so
Yeah.
we're asking you all out there, try to help us pass the word around. Post these things. We have little 30-second videos on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page. We're on TikTok now, man. If we can get into that TikTok crowd, it's really about this next generation. Just creating in the family mind and this next generation. Simplicity is powerful. I was hearing this thing about the I think it was Gates or something talking about, oh, we need to go to all vegetable beef, the imitation beef, whatever they want to call it.
Oh,
And I was thinking about it. In 2 generations, there won't be red meat. It and the taste of red meat to somebody who's only had what we're going to call imitation. And so that's the idea of BioTouch now is creating that as a system now, but after maybe a generation, it will just be part of our life
yeah,
that when there's a headache, a sinus headache, an allergy reaction, a broken bone, and you're trying to get the medical care you need, you've always got these,
yeah.
uh, and it can always be done in any situation. So we always want to teach this too. So that's what we do with these shows. Let's take a little moment and just teach a real simple set, just the stress set.
The stress set may be used to address any manifestation of physical, emotional, or mental stress, as well as anxiety and shingles. Hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. It is the same as greeting point 1. Then with the other hand touch points 1 and 2, which are the same points as in the heart set. These points are found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this imaginary line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. These points may be touched repeatedly, and remember to touch each point for at least 6 to 8 seconds.
There you go. Now that doesn't get any simpler.
Yeah, it does. It's called the greeting.
The greeting, that's true. That greeting will starts the process.
Yeah.
So what can we say anymore? We just keep, over 3 years, just, practice
Well,
simplicity, and
yeah.
you'll notice changes.
That just a final thought. That word simple is also something I'm hearing. People are like thinking about, it's time for us to simplify our lives. They've become so complicated. And I think maybe part of the outcome of this isolation from the pandemic is going to be people really recognizing what they could do without. That we've been driven into a thought form that, oh, you can't exist without this little gadget or that little thing. People are starting to have a whole nother thought about, wow, what's really meaningful here. And I'm thinking that, maybe that whole rhythm, getting back into living more of a simple life, BioTouch is going to be embraced more and more because of its simplicity, and it fits into our lives
Right.
very easily, very uh, lovingly every day. So I'm thinking that it's time,
And the only way to find out is not to leave us, is to try it.
right?
We have pages and pages and pages of testimonials on our website, justtouch.com. But there's really only one way to find out for yourself. I mean, everybody sells things with testimonials,
Yeah, right.
and if we got a negative testimonial, we put it into the background. But, it doesn't matter what the testimonials are. It just requires you to try it. And it
Yeah,
doesn't cost you anything to
just
try it.
try it.
Yes, try it. Let us know.
Just
If it doesn't work, let us know that too. And if you need extra personal help, send us an email, office@justtouch.com. We'll get back to you. We'll help you personally with whatever problem it is that you're working with
yeah.
you or a loved one. And one of the other ways that we teach is we have a health condition workshop coming up this Thursday. And
Yes,
we
we
have
do.
Dr. Renee Strelo, and she's a medical doctor, family practitioner who's actually retired recently. And she's going to be talking to us about childhood ear infections. She's going to present to us what it is, how you get it. She might even show us a little thing of the ear. And, I said, oh, yeah, that would be great because plenty of
Yeah.
us, all we know is this thing that flaps on the outside.
Or put
So,
earphones in.
yeah, so she's excited about sharing with us. And then towards the end of March, we have another virtual training going on. March 23rd, that's from 9 a.m. to 4:30. 8 CE credits. Massage therapists, doulas, nurses, for only $60 for them, $48 for everybody else.
Yep.
So again, all kinds of ways, or just go to the website and just download the first 10 pages of the manual, which gives you the greeting, and that doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
So it doesn't have to cost to be good,
Or to be healthy.
or to be happy,
Or to be loved.
or to be you, or to be
Well,
me.
that's a fact.
So let's all do the greeting and become Bev. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So we're going to play Horace Barnes' little ditty again down there on Pima Street. And we'll see you all. Hopefully, we'll see you Thursday.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll see you next Monday.
Next Monday.
Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
week, everyone.
To the sun, they come here every day. They do a lot of touching and they do it without pay. They all do it gladly because they are so sweet. Bless the staff of practitioners down on Pima Street. Once they all had ailments, stress and other things. They know how to get relief, that's what BioTouching brings. They love helping others,